to the Los Alamitos preview show and a big weekend of racing here at Los Alamitos, the trials to the Burke Million Futurity. And I'm so happy to be joined by track announcer Michael Rona. Michael, how are you?
Oh, great. Thank you, Orlando. Gearing up for a big weekend at Los Alamitos.
Absolutely. A big weekend at Los Al. 9 races on top on Saturday. But, of course, on Sunday is the trials to the Burke Million Futurity. Michael, 12 race wagers. Pick 6, of course, that will begin in race number 7. The place pick all will consist of races 1 through 10. But how about this group of runners, Michael? 98 of them will be in action. Every race in the trials will have either 9 horses or 8 horses. I believe the first trial has 9. The rest of the fields all have 8 horses in the trial. So it's going to be a good one. 98 will be going, looking for one of those top 10 spots.
Yep, it'll be exciting all the way across the night. Let's hope that the conditions stay even and fair across the entire evening. It's likely to be that way. We're blessed, here in California, when you consider the way that some trials are conducted in other states and how weather conditions can vary quite dramatically. But I think it'll be a case of the best horses having their shot to qualify.
Yeah, as I was driving here to the racetrack, I looked at the temperature gauge in my car. It was 67 degrees, beautiful, sunny out. It's going to be a beautiful weekend of racing here at Los Alamitos, just a few days away from Memorial Day weekend. The summer's coming, and the action's going to be hot here at Los Al. How about we start looking at the trials, Michael? I know you've taken a look at several of these races coming into the weekend. So we can start wherever you want, Michael. You let me know what race you want to look at, what horse you want to look at, and we'll take a look at that horse.
Well, let's take a look at the early pick 4. The first race is, to me, very interesting indeed. We've got 2 horses exiting the same maiden race who finished first and third, Cowboy Bolt and Just Send Kevin. What about Cowboy Bolt, Orlando, winning on debut, then being gelded? That's a bit of a raw deal, isn't it?
That's pretty interesting. What a reward, right, Michael? Let's geld you right after you win, and you won by 3/4 of a length. Cowboy Bolt, trader Lindolfo Diaz taking no prisoners here as he prepares for the trials to the Burke Million Futurity, and a pretty good time for Cowboy Bolt back on May the 5th, winning time 15:83. And I have the replay here for Cowboy Bolt. Let's see if we can take a look at this runner here. It's going to be in race number 6. And he will start from the outside post number 9. So
and have a look at gate 3 as well, because that's Just Send Kevin, who finished third as favorite in this race.
Okay, so post number 9, I believe that's going to make him go from the far outside post number 10. And Just Send Kevin will still be going from post number 3, Michael.
Right. Yeah, see, Cowboy Bolt pretty much did everything right.
Racing
and was able to draw away.
Tessio's going very fast. Tessio, the early leader. Rainin and Cowboy Bolt are coming home fast down the outside with Celtic Card.
It's a nice and easy way that Cowboy Bolt is doing things. Going to start taking control right here. Very nice finish there for Cowboy Bolt, Michael.
Yeah. Now, see if you can see the horse to the left of screen on the gallop out. Do we get a glimpse of him or not? No, we don't. Look, I just want to talk a little bit more about Just Send Kevin, the number 3 horse who drifted in at the start, bumped, and had his hindquarters turned twice in the early going. I thought it was a very good recovery. Keep in mind he started favourite in this race ahead of Cowboy Bolt, who had every chance down the middle of the track with clear sailing. I think there's a lot to like about Just Send Kevin getting to the outside post position for this race on Sunday night. He'll have the advantage of the outside draw this time, and he could be a big improver. He had the best gallop out in the field. That's him ending up over on the inside rail going past the finish line. And I fancy him being able to turn the tables on Cowboy Bolt in this spot. Let me give you a long shot to just consider Orlando. Number 2, Amir Dash, is 10-1 on Ed Burgart's morning line. The only horse in this field who had only one gate work prior to the debut, and has had 2 starts now, off poorly both times, but a really strong gallop out. The gallop out caught my eye last time on April the 21st, and with a little bit more distance as they step up to 350, maybe a long shot look to number 2. But my top pick is Just Send Kevin from the outside gate.
Excellent, Michael. I also like number 1, So Tempting there. Montearosa is going to have 16 runners on trial night. He'll be among the busiest trainers, and he always tends to qualify a horse on 2 in these big futurities. So I'm going to also give number 1, So Tempting, a look. I also like the 2 horses that you mentioned, Michael, Cowboy Bolt, racing from post 7, and the 9, Just Send Kevin. Just to mention the odds on these horses, 3-1 on Cowboy Bolt, and Just Send Kevin will be 9-1. How about we go to race number 2? Race number 2, since you're giving us a good look at the early pick 4, how about you talk about this trial, Michael?
Well, Jaime Gomez has number 2, J La Professora, and I thought that the debut second was pretty good, behind Devil's Tower, who's one of the big name juveniles at the moment. In fact, he's in the following race, I think. And J La Professora had the hindquarters bumped early, ran on well to be second. I thought the gate work was better than it looked leading into the debut. This filly is a half to J Fire Up, the 2017 PCQHRA Horse of the Year, a horse very dear to Jaime Gomez because he bred and raised and trained that horse. And so this continues the line because Jaime is the breeder of J La Professora. 8-1 on the morning line, and I think can run a really nice race.
I also have number 8, Hot Ones, Michael, 5-2 from the outside post. Paul Jones and Victor Salazar, what a connection they've become here at Los Alamitos. Hot Ones finished second in racing debut back on May 11th. Racing from post number 7, 2-1 on the morning line. I do have that replay queued up here, Michael.
Yep, there's lots going on. This is a pretty eventful race. So let's take a look at Hot Ones, who had gate 7 in a field of 9.
Okay, let me get this race going here.
Yeah, he was favored on debut, was a little slow to get out of the gate, a little bit of early brushing. And mid-race, the winner, the ultimate winner, crossed his path, and he and the 8 horse outside of him altered course inward. So he's the number 7 horse here.
Number 7 horse, Paul Jones, the trainer, and you can kind of see him there drifting towards the inside. Now, what a big win there by Listen Now. But we're going to take another look at number 8, Hot Ones. This race was 300 yards, but by the fact that he's drifting in, he probably went a few extra yards there traveling, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, for sure. So there's just a little brushing with the 6 horse out of the gate. Again, Hot Ones is number 7, the rider wearing red sleeves. And the winner in the gold Ed Allred silks shifts across his path, and the 8 horse on his outside starts to react to that, kind of comes in a little bit, and the 7 ends up veering significantly inwards. So plenty of room for improvement second time out as Hot Ones comes up with the outside gate on Sunday night.
Excellent, Michael. I have to take a look at number 7, Big Hurt. In that race, there were some really nice runners that competed on that night back on May the 4th. Actually, that weekend was one of our biggest weekends as far as a lot of really nice horses that took action there at Los Alamitos. And Big Hurt, the winning time there, 15:63, was among the fastest that we had seen for a first-time starter here at Los Al at 300 yards. Norco was the big horse that when he went, I believe, 15:57, but horses like Big Hurt and Wire Fraud also with very impressive times first time out. So number 7, Big Hurt, is in this race. Hot Ones on the outside. and J La Profesora on the inside. Just another good trial here at Los Alamitos for the Ed Burke night. So let's go ahead and move forward, Michael, to race number 3. What are you thinking there?
Well, Devil's Tower, we just saw on that replay of. Oh no, sorry, we didn't see the replay, but Devil's Tower won impressively and clearly second time out after burning a lot of money on debut. It's just a matter of which version turns up, I suppose, because if he gets out of the gate like he did on debut, it won't be pretty. But we know what the horse is capable of. Is this the win here on May 11?
This will be the win on May 11th for Devil's Tower, racing from post number 1, Michael. Is this the one something that we want to look at?
Yeah, sure. And
right.
J La Profesora that I mentioned in the previous race had gate 3 in this race as well. So you might just want to take a look at the 1 and the 3.
Tower from post number 1.
Devil's Tower begins well enough near the inside. Marco Cartel lost the rider. One Day Queen's down the outside. Lapitas Cartel Jr. and J La Profesora. But Devil's Tower prevails. Pulls away strongly. Wins from either Lapitas Cartel Jr. or J La Profesora with One Day Queen 4.
Yeah, it was a very solid win, that's for sure. And just noticed the 3-horse getting the hindquarters bumped early. I thought that she rallied okay into second. But focusing on this third trial, Orlando, Devil's Tower, 5-2 on Ed Burgart's morning line. Certainly one of the top chances. Zooming on Home was the horse I picked for you on the preview show a couple of weeks ago at good odds in the kindergarten final, and got tangled up at the start with his next door neighbour. It all went wrong as the gate opened. But looking back now that we know the result of the kindergarten futurity, see who Zooming on Home finished a nose behind on debut as favourite, Cedar Hill.
Yeah, Cedar Hill went on to win the kindergarten futurity. That was a really, really good trial on that night. Val Caruso has been another horse that has posted some really nice efforts overall, running third and zooming on Home easily a length ahead of Val Caruso in that race. So another horse, I think you mentioned zooming on Home when you picked them on the night of the kindergarten futurity, trying the flipping halter in that race. We have another horse in this trial, Curl Happy Wagon, also adding a flipping halter for the first time. I give this horse a chance. Heath Taylor, he likes to use flipping halter on some of his horses. This horse ran 4th, and you can see the comment there that George Duarte put on Curl Happy Wagon. He was rowdy, off slow, but willingly from there. So maybe adding that flipping halter on number 3, Curl Happy Wagon, might make those 6-1 odds something pretty juicy on the night of the Ed Burke Million.
I agree completely. I think there's good value there. Keep in mind that the horse was favoured on debut. Also note that Curl Happy Wagon did not have a local workout, and had been training at Sunland Park. So definitely big scope for improvement. I think a possible overlay, number 3, Curl Happy Wagon.
Okay, let's move on to race number 4 to complete the early pick 4 here on Ed Burke Million Trial Night. Michael, and the big name. We've been waiting to see the return of Norco. Norco will be racing from post number 4, even money on the morning line here. And what a victory, 2 1/4 lengths on this horse's racing debut, 15:57, the winning time. Look at the breeding there. Favorite Cartel out of Moonlight Corona. That's a full brother to Circle City. Nomadic, both of them graded stakes winners here at Los Alamitos. Norco, Michael.
Yeah. This race goes strictly through Norco. I'm not getting creative. I'm not going to try and beat him. He absolutely wowed me on debut. It was fantastic, and I can't wait to set eyes on him again. What an exciting prospect.
And I have that racing debut right here, the 27th, and he's going to start from post number 8. So he draws the outside post on that night. He gets the post number 4 in his return race here for the Ed Burke Million Trials. Gabriel Lara up for trainer Skull Willoughby, owner and breeder Ed Allred.
Racing. Zoomin first, and nearer the inside, Irish Dancer and Schemed. It's Norco out wide in the ascendancy in a major way. This is a good horse in the making. Norco, 3 lengths. Irish Dancer second, Zoomin first was third.
Can't do much better than that, Michael, on a debut, right?
Yep, and look at him on the gallop out, still well clear of the field. It was spectacular, and he deserves clear-cut favoritism. I'm certainly not going to pick against him, and I'm just going to look forward to that race in particular on Sunday night. There's so many good, promising youngsters in the dozen trails, but none more so than Norco.
Absolutely. We have a total of 7 runners that competed in the kindergarten futurity that are coming back for these trials. So we're going to have them sprinkle around some greatest futurity finalists already in action in these trials. And of course, some of those big names. We mentioned Big Hurt. We mentioned now Norco and Norco and a couple of more. We have Chris Wade coming up next, Michael, to look at a few more trial races. Thank you so much for joining the show and looking forward to a big weekend.
My pleasure. Okay, mate. See you on the weekend.
I'll see you, Michael. And we're back for the preview show, and I'm happy to be joined by Christopher Wade, the host of the broadcast show here during the simulcasting at Los Alamitos. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing fine, boss. How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. 12 races on tap Sunday. We're going to keep you busy looking at a lot of races on Sunday. Michael already took a look at the first 4 races on the card, so he took care of the early pick 4. How about you? We're going to take a look at some of the other races here on a busy night of trials. What do you like? What do you like on Sunday?
Well, we got some quality runners going post. We got some well-meant first-time starters, some horses with lots of ability who did have a good amount of trouble up. We had one of our video horses to watch there in race number 6. But like I said, race number 5, that wire fraud was very impressive in the debut for the Adolfo Diaz barn off of some very impressive workouts. Yeah,
wire fraud. They paid a nice hefty sum, $250,000 in his debut May 4th, wins by a length and a half. And what an excellent time, posted 15:63, about a neck behind Norco. If they would have both run in that race, Norco went 15:57. Wire fraud not too far away from the impressive Norco. So wire fraud definitely the horse to beat in race number 5. But you mentioned that you like a horse in race 6.
Yeah, race number 6, that Rail Runner Assault. This horse has a nice workout. I graded the horse an A- on my numbers, but Assault down the inside had a stack of trouble. He's locked and loaded behind horses. And on my charts, it's a 2W. Horse to watch, times 2.
A horse to watch, and I happen to have the replay of the race, his debut here on April 14th, race number 7, and he's going to break from post number 4. If I remember correctly, this was a really interesting trial because Toxic Details also in this race. We'll see Toxic Details on Sunday night as well. But tell me what you like about Assault, again, breaking from post number 4.
Yeah, this was a big-bodied horse, well-meant, and had a stack of trouble away from the gate. You see the horse leaned back at the start, was crossed by the aforementioned Toxic Details, drifted out, was under a hand shove, but this horse caught stride and was leveling out very strongly at 220 yards and was galloping out very, very well. He's a big-bodied horse. He wants more yardage. You can see him gallop out into that turn with stack of run. And like I said, it was an A- worker prior to that troubled debut. And with the expected step forward, experience race in the holster, big look as our top choice in that 6th race at 3-1 there in the morning line.
Yeah, we're seeing the slow-mo here of Assault. Like you mentioned, just kind of sluggish, leaving there, kind of lost his path, had to go wide in this race. Crazy Down Corona, the mother of Assault. She's produced some good ones over the years. Impressum, he's judge and jury. Both of them great one winners. One of them won the champion of champions here at Los Alamitos, of course, that being Impressum. And the other one, he's judge and jury, winning the All-American Futurity. So Assault from a terrific family. His sire, Flying Cowboy 1, 2, 3, a tremendous young sire. So looking forward to seeing Assault back in action here at Los Alamitos' second start. Remember that debut, 220 yards, now stretching to 350 yards. So he's going to get a lot of extra yardage in his return race, Chris.
Yeah, this horse is expected to step forward. He wants as much yardage as he can get. It's a big body horse, well bred, well connected, solid workout, race experience, a troubled one, in fact, but with expected to step forward, a decent getaway. Definitely a big look there in that 6th event.
What else do you like in some of the other trials?
Well, you said the race, like the trial number 5, the 5th event, kicking off that middle pick 4. This horse, Wire Fraud, was an A worker, an A-, and I don't do this very often, but I gave him in his second workout, I gave him an A++. This horse was just so very impressive. He's a big-bodied horse. He won his debut very impressively, earned a very impressive figure in my chart, so I got to give him a big look there in that 5th event.
5th event, Wire Fraud. In the 6th race, Assault. In race number 7, a very interesting field in this one, because we're going to have the runner-up in the Kindergarten Futurity. There he is, number 8, My Bud. Rodrigo Segala Vallejo up for trainer Heath Taylor in 2 races, 2 really good efforts for My Bud, winning a loaded debut back on April the 21st, and then comes back in the final to the Kindergarten Futurity, runs a solid second there, making up a little bit of ground there on Cedar Hill, the big winner of the Kindergarten Futurity.
Yeah, My Bud happened to be our top choice in the Kindergarten Futurity. And with the second lifetime start, Cedar had a little bit of a race advantage over him, had 1 or 2 more races in the holster, but was finishing very well from the inside post. Now he goes from that inside box to the outside box. So he'll be closing strongly from the outside with in that second lifetime start in the holster, and a big look there as our top choice in that 7th event.
Okay, I'm scrolling now to race number 8, and we have another runner in this one that competed in the Kindergarten Futurity. That's number 3, Play Misty, 6-5 on the morning line, running 3rd in the Kindergarten Futurity. This filly there chasing the 2 boys, Cedar Hill and My Bud. So we gotta like Play Misty. 2 really nice efforts so far to start off her career. Anything else that stands out in this trial for you, Chris?
Well, I'm gonna give kind of that'd be my top. Play Misty, obvious our top choice in that affair. Give a slight look to the outside horse, Apolitical Maverick. This horse did run pretty well in that debut and earned a decent figure on my chart. So I have to look to grab a slice of the pie in underneath exotics there in that 8th event.
Also got to mention Charlene's Cowgirl. They paid $370,000 for Charlena's Cowgirl. Another filly by Flying Cowboy, 1, 2, 3. And first out here at Los Alamitos, running second to Golden Ticket. And I believe Golden Ticket, that was her second start. So she had a little bit of experience over Charlena's Cowgirl winning that race. This will be, of course, Charlena's Cowgirl second out, 6-1 on the morning line. And, we'll see. When they pay that much money, they really, really must like her ability, her athleticism. And she showed some good stuff in that first out.
Yeah, I'm going to give her a look as my 4th choice in that event. I got to have a stab with a down the horse on the inside. City of Blood horse is an A- worker, but bucked the rider away from the gate, broke a little slow, but showed some speed, then bucked the rider away from the gate. The only concern is being down the inside, but the ability is there. If this horse can just get a clean trip and mind his manners, could grab a slice of the pie at a price there in that 8th event.
And I got to tell you, Chris, anybody that wants to go look at that gate work on May 8th, they came back and worked this horse just 4 days after that outing, after that debut outing, and he pretty much did the same thing in that workout. Chris, he kind of bucked around a little bit. It looked really, really green. This one, half brother to Apolitical Pens, the great Apolitical Pens. So that kind of worried me a little bit that he did kind of bucked around a little bit in that gate work again. But like you mentioned, the quality is there. Apolitical Blood, a major winner during his racing career, and Sin City, a tremendous mare. So we'll see 15-1 on the morning line. So yeah, if City of Blood does improve for those last few times that we've seen him on video, that first out and then the gate work, definitely quality runner. Really quickly, as we're running out of time in the preview show, anybody else in these trials? Race number 9, low and fast, super good work on May the 8th, going 12-1. That was the fastest of 18 works. Low and fast from the rail at 8-1 in that trial number 9. We have a couple of horses that are coming up for the Kindergarten Futurity. Number 4, Hey Wow. And number 6, Exploiter, Jaime Gomez with Exploiter. This horse 3-1 on the morning line this time around. And I thought he ran a nice first part of the Kindergarten Futurity. He was right there in the mix. Just couldn't keep up with the big runners in the final.
Yeah, he happened to be my top choice. He was. They were in a pretty good figure with everything factored in. Burke kind of head cocked sideways and skied a little bit, but was finishing steadily. Was outrun, but still in a decent figure. And of course, the aforementioned Exploiter does come out of the same race. Was finishing evenly. A little bit of trouble, but that was behind horses. It's better than that race indicates. And of course, you did notice the solid workout on that rail runner. And of course, Beach Walk, a B- worker prior to that debut, could definitely grab a slice of the pie as well.
Let's take a look really quickly, Chris, at race number 10. And what a season Eddie Willis has had already with horses that have shipped in from Remington Park to run here at Los Alamitos. He's got one here in number 1, Astronaut. This horse ran second at Remington Park on March 23rd, sends him to Los Al on May 4th. And this horse just flies out of the gate. It's got the lead and just gets caught there at the wire, running a nice second to Be Careful. Let's see how Astronaut comes back second start here in Orange County.
Yeah, it happens to be my second choice. The Astronaut earned a pretty solid figure. He was pretty good in that effort at Remington Park. I'm going to give a slight look to She's a Salty and Sassy. Was A- worker prior to that debut and earned a pretty good figure, so I have to look at the outcome. And, of course, the 4, Elcia, a horse who was an A- worker prior to the debut, but has been much troubled in both starts. There's more ability than shown and could grab a slice of the pie at a price there.
Yeah, and the horse players have taken a look at Elcia twice already to see if how many do it again, third time out. One thing to point out: Henry Reynoso Lopez, our leading overall rider last year by a lot. I mean, he won more races than anybody aboard all different kinds of breeds that we have here at Los Alamitos. He was injured, I believe, first or second weekend of the year, so he's been off for a while. But he's going to make his first return appearance on Saturday during Saturday's program, and now back in action for the Ed Burke Million Trials. He picks up number 4, Elcia. Let's take a look at race 11. Chris, any thoughts on this trial?
Well, I got to give the edge to Fear and Friday's a horse who I think was a favorite in the Kindergarten Futurity, but had a stack of trouble. Leaned back at the start, was bumped back and crossed, angled into the rail, finished evenly with run left to give and galloped out well. So definitely looking to make some amends there in that 11th event is our top choice.
I'm going to give a look at number 4, Ultimate Battle as well. Running second to, guess who? Wire Fraud. And a pretty good time as well in that race, 1594 there. Of course, the time's not going to be that great when you lose by a length and a half, but still, Ultimate Battle had a little bit of trouble in that start, broke out, got bumped a little bit, but still running a solid effort there, using a flipping halter as well in this start. And let's finally let's close the show with race number 12, the final trial. This is when all the nails starts getting chewed by the trainers, by the owners that are right there in the mix. This will be this is the fun time, right? When we'll see who can get that final spot to the $1 million Ed Burke.
Yeah, this is a closely matched affair. As you can tell with the morning line there set by Ed Burgard. I'm going to give a slightest of edges to the 6, Tornado. His horse better than shown, or a decent figure, all factored in my charts. And then, of course, the 4, Apolitical Bet be our second choice in the finale. But it's a closely matched affair. I wouldn't go too short on the pick 6 and or the pick 4. Could pop up at a price there in the finale.
Just one thing that I noticed in this trial, how many horses were either the favorite or near favorites in their most recent starts. Play Fair was a favorite and was almost 3-1 in her debut. A Political Bet was odds-on favorite as well in his debut when running third. That's actually my top pick in this race. Party Time Tom 3-1 ended up running second. Tornado around almost 5-2, something around that, or 7-2 in first out. La Peralta, even money when winning second out. The big long shot, the only one that is really a big long shot is the 8 RG Cartel on the outside. So like you mentioned, very evenly matched group here in race number 12. Who's gonna post the fastest time?
Oh my gosh, it's a closely matched affair. I'm gonna tell you something. You were talking earlier with Michael about that horse Norco. That horse has just got so much talent. My grandfather used to call horses of his talent not a freak. He called him a frick. This horse was so very impressive in the morning, and the connections don't work him fast. He just did it on his own ability, and then he came back and was just so impressive in the debut. So that has to be the fastest qualifier, because this horse just looks just stacked with talent.
It's going to be a fun night of racing here at Los Alamitos on Sunday night. 12 races, 3 pick fours, 98 runners, 10 spots up for grab to the Ed Burke Million Futurity Final. It's going to be a good one. Hope you join us either on track or watch us on FanDuel TV. Ulises Gomez joining Jose Los Ponis Contreras on the show. Hope you join us for what should be a great Sunday night of racing. Thank you so much, Chris. Any parting words?
Yeah, it's going to be a great night of racing. We got some talented runners. I mean, we're going to see some very fast times this particular year. I mean, I'm thinking 15:45, something along those lines. Norco has so much talent, and it's a talented group of runners.
Well, if they go 15:45 at 350 yards,
that's
a world record time.
Okay.
Come on, Chris.
Okay.
How about 1760? How about that?
1755. Excuse me.
1755. Okay, that sounds
All
a little
right.
bit better. Okay, thanks so much, Chris. We're looking forward to that rocket launches that are going to be going 15:45. No, they're going to go about 1760. Thanks so much, Chris.
All right, boss. You have a good day.
And thank you for everybody watching the preview show. We'll be back shortly with more fun here at Los Alamitos Racecourse. For now, thank you so much. Hope to see you at the races on Sunday.